Whoops, second time lucky, guys. How are you doing? So I wanted to talk, oh, whoops, let me fix my thing there. So I wanted to talk about digital inventory today. I thought that would be really cool. We could have a quick Q&A. Sorry, I'm fiddling with my computer there. I felt we could have a quick Q&A to talk about digital inventory, on demand, our new mini course that we've put together, Curate, which is our big, huge mega course, and really cool news this morning. PrintFul and Amazon announcing integration. PrintFul are now integrating Amazon. So I wanted to talk about that and answer any questions you guys have about that. Before I do anything, I wanted to say a big thank you to Angelique and Grandma Marilyn. I got a copy of their new morning coffee colouring book. And I love these retro colours. It's like super 70s. And, oh my gosh, I had a book dedicated to me. How exciting is that? It says, I would like to thank Katharyne for her wonderful class. This book is for her and her love for coffee. So thank you so much, Angel and Grandma Marilyn. I know, isn't it gorgeous? I like this. It's got a kind of, I don't know, I feel like you could Andy Warhol these coffee cups. That would be kind of cool. Oh, hi Marilyn, how are you? I know, PrintFul is really interesting. They're integrated with Gumroad, Shopify, WooCommerce, a whole, but I haven't got it open on my screen actually. I probably should do that. But yeah, PrintFul is a really interesting platform. So, big news today. PrintFul announced that they are integrating with Amazon. And as far as I know, this is the first proper integration with Amazon from a print-on-demand company. I know Gearbubble have kind of been poking around at doing it, and they do have it available for a couple of categories. It's mostly mugs, but I think this has become the first print-on-demand platform to offer integration to everyone, which is really exciting. So, okay, questions are coming in. So let's talk a little bit about print on demand. What is print on demand? Well, print on demand covers a whole range of platforms, from merch. Amazon merch is print on demand, CreateSpace is print on demand, to things like Redbubble, Zazzle, Cafe Press, all of those platforms. And I think a lot of people are kind of confused about how the two connect to each other. So with, I know the key thing with print on demand is that there's no inventory. So when someone orders your product, it is printed to order. You don't have to buy anything up front. You don't have to buy anything beforehand. You don't have any inventory lying around. It's pretty awesome. You just come up with the designs. So it really shifts what you do into thinking about designs and niches. But what is really awesome about print on demand? I know a lot of you have been doing bundles, white label, and the key thing with bundles is, how do you package something? How do you turn a boring product into something interesting? So, I mean, maybe you find like a teddy bear and a blanket, and you turn that into a new baby bundle. Well, print on demand is kind of the same thing. You take something boring, like a plain t-shirt or a bag or an apron, and you make it fit a niche. You make it fit a particular target audience, and it can be anything. Like, you can make t-shirts for schools, for occupations, people with certain jobs. You can make t-shirts for particular events like holidays, back to school, parties, Christmas, all these different kinds of things, Valentine's and so on. And the difference is, instead of sort of bundling it and bundling things together and trying to come up with a way of bundling products together, you're actually just creating a design. You're actually just sticking a design on something. But a lot of it's the same. You still need keywords. I mean, everything you've learned from doing bundles, white label, so on, you can apply. And in fact, if you're just selling straight on eBay or Amazon, a lot of those skills that you've learned, like keywords, finding a target audience, knowing how to describe your product, knowing how to take pictures, knowing how to make your product look good, all of those skills totally translate over to print on demand. So it's actually, this is a really exciting avenue for a lot of us that have been doing physical inventory and selling actual products, which is really, really exciting. So that's print on demand. Merch and CreateSpace are Amazon's primary print on demand platforms. So Merch at the moment just sells t-shirts. That's it. It's cool. It's awesome. It does what it says. I mean, like that is what it says it does. You sell t-shirts through Merch and it works really, really well. I've been averaging about $600 to $800 a month on Merch, which isn't huge money, but it's nice because it's like super passive. You make a couple of designs a day, you upload them. I think I currently have about 56 designs live. I had more and then a few were taken down because they didn't sell. But now I have 56 designs live, which are generally selling, and I do get a fair amount of sales. So an extra sort of $600-800 a month is awesome because it's very, very little work. You just come up with a design or two when you feel like it, upload it and wait for it to sell. And the same is true with CreateSpace. So CreateSpace is awesome because, okay, Merch is a little bit hard to get into at the moment. As Amy's just saying there, I wish I could get into Merch. And the problem with Merch is there's a waiting list and no one knows how long it takes to get approved for Merch. You can put your application in now, you might get approved next week, you might get approved in a few months. Like, it's really hard to say when your Merch application is going to go through. And some people got kicked off Merch, which is a bummer. Not all of them deserved it. In fact, quite a lot of them, the stories I've heard, a lot of them didn't deserve it. It was kind of very over-ambitious policing by the Merch police. So a lot of people aren't on Merch. They either can't get in yet or they've been removed from Merch. So there are options, and this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of alternatives to Merch, and yeah, I do suggest reapplying to Merch. I don't think it can hurt. I don't think it will damage your application if you reapply. I wouldn't reapply every day, but if you've been waiting a while, I would put another application into Merch. I don't think it will hurt. So CreateSpace is Amazon's other print-on-demand service. And what's really nice with CreateSpace is that's all about books. Yay! And okay, let me grab, oh my gosh, I'm dropping everything on the floor. So the cool thing with CreateSpace, I mean, this is something we made on CreateSpace, and it's like a dot grid journal, super simple. You publish it on CreateSpace, they put your barcode on, and here's the thing, guys, anything you can put on a t-shirt, you can put on a journal, a composition book, a planner, a colouring book, like I'm sure there's a million other types of books you can think of. Puzzle books, activity books, school books, all kinds of things. And what we've been doing in Curate as well is putting together public domain material into books. So, I mean, here's one, for example, that I did that was based on public domain comic books. So you can totally, if I show you how it looks, you can totally get sort of public domain material like this and publish that on CreateSpace. So if you're not in Merch, think about CreateSpace because it's free. You can put up books completely free. It's not super policed like Merch is. It's not like it's not super strict like Merch. You're not running this risk of, oh my gosh, I might lose my account or be thrown off at any moment. As long as you're doing everything by the rules and you're abiding by basic copyright, public domain, things like that, it's absolutely fine to jump on CreateSpace and start putting some books out on there. And I'm seeing people in the Curate class, people are literally publishing books in 2 hours. And they're like, okay, I got a journal made today. I got a composition book made today. I got a colouring book made today, which is super exciting. One thing I want to say, I've seen with colouring books, be careful with copyrights. Be careful with that you're using public domain content. You're not using anyone famous. Like I've seen some sort of famous people colouring books, and I'm pretty sure they're not authorized. So be careful with those. Do use material that's either your own, that's material you've commissioned, or material that's public domain. And I've been talking a lot about public domain recently. Public domain, guys, oh my gosh. Public domain is like the biggest hidden treasure ever. Like there are literally, the Met Museum released, I think it was something like 400,000 pictures into the public domain about 2 weeks ago. And it's awesome. You can search and find just hundreds of thousands of pictures, patterns, photographs, all kinds of cool things. There's literature, there's text. Anything published pre-1923 is generally in the public domain. So you can republish Shakespeare, you can republish Dickens, you can republish like all kinds of cool things. Add illustrations, add translations, like add to them, like put in zombie, I don't know, do, what was I talking about? Shakespeare and zombies. There you go. It's public domain. You can totally do that. So there's a lot of really cool opportunities in CreateSpace. So don't get too caught up in merch. If you can't get into merch, if you're having a problem with merch, or even if you're doing merch and you love it, why not take your merch designs and put them onto the front of a journal or a notebook or a composition book or a coloring book or something like that. Remember, where are we now? We're in March already. March. We're going to be getting into back to school in the next couple of months. Oh my gosh. And people will start buying composition books. In fact, that was one of the things that really got me into digital inventory, was that I was selling composition books from Walmart. You know all the composition books you get from Walmart? I was selling a ton of those. And I looked at them and I was like, these are the most boring composition books in the world. Why do people keep buying these? So I tried making different ones with unicorns on, or I've got one with like a Ouija board on it, like all different designs. And I started uploading those to CreateSpace, and back to school time, they flew. So I was like, well, this makes a lot more sense than running to Walmart and buying boring composition books, when I can just make my own and upload them onto CreateSpace. So that's CreateSpace. I'm looking at all your comments, guys. There's a lot of comments coming down the side. Let me just take a look. Oh, Marilyn says she's transferring her t-shirts to Amazon from Shopify. That's a cool idea. I think she's using PrintFul. Do you suggest... no, I've answered that one. I've heard if you were removed for inactivity that if you reapply you can get in pretty quickly. Oh, that's good advice from Carolyn. So she says her friend got in the next day on merge. So she was suspended for inactivity but got in the next day. So that's really good news. Sue says she knows someone who just launched a cookbook. That is so cool. And I'm seeing, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. In Curate, I've seen people launching all kinds of books like every day. I think Stacy, is it Stacy? I don't want to get the wrong person here. I think Stacy just released a cancer survivors or cancer patients journal, which is just awesome. Like people are putting out some really, really amazing books. I know Sasha O'Hara has her new book coming out next week. Jordan, what did Jordan do? Oh, Jordan put out some notebooks about the TRAPPIST. You know the new NASA TRAPPIST planet galaxy? I don't know what it's called. Is it a solar system, a galaxy? Apparently NASA have just found a new solar system, and Jordan made some cool notebooks about it. So like people are doing really, really cool things. So really excited by the books. So let's talk. Okay, I'm seeing people ask about PrintFul. So okay, so let's first of all say, what's digital inventory? Digital inventory, as I define it, is any inventory you don't have to touch or you don't have to ship, and anything that basically keeps your house clean and tidy. Because I mean, I've been a treasure hunter for years, and my house got so full of stuff from thrift stores. I got bags of candy, I just books, like boxes of books around, and I just got to a point where I'm like, okay, enough, I need to kind of scale this back. And I've been finding that sort of moving to digital inventory, so I'm defining digital inventory as anything that helps keep my house clean and stop Isaac making the face at me, and stops my dogs from eating stuff. And that's digital inventory. So I'm including merch, CreateSpace. I'm also including Gumroad, and in the Curate class we talk a lot about Gumroad because you can do cool things with that. You can sell subscriptions of digital products, so things like information packs, diet guides, exercise guides, lesson plans you can put on Gumroad, graphics, graphics packages, font packages. Like, we even talk about how to create your own fonts. Like, there's so many cool things that you can create that are digital products. There's also a wealth of other platforms out there. Like Teachers Pay Teachers, for example. If you put together a workbook or a lesson plan, you can sell that on Teachers Pay Teachers. And bear in mind, there are a ton of government sites that have lesson plans on them that are public domain, or lesson ideas that are public domain, that you can turn into your own program of education. So there's so many cool ideas out there and so many platforms now that I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but also it's a huge, huge opportunity. So I'm kind of covering all of that and calling all of that digital inventory. So the PrintFul thing is a little bit different. It's, it's product that you never have to touch. It's product that you don't have to do anything with or ship. It's out of your hands. So I guess it fits the digital inventory concept of keeping my house clean. But it does, in the end, involve physical product going to a customer. And it's really, really exciting, though, because PrintFul have now said that they'll link with Amazon. So what that means is that you can create a product on PrintFul, and I know PrintFul have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, all over shirts. Those are cool. They're like the graphic shirts that have the design all the way across them. They have bags. I don't know, I think leggings they have, phone cases, wall art. I know there's other things they have. PrintFul have a whole bunch of cool products that you can create and then list on Amazon. And PrintFul will ship them to the customer for you, which is super exciting. Just like merch, in fact. I mean, as far as the customer sees, it's not a lot different from merch. They buy the product and it's shipped straight to them, and you don't have to touch them. You just come up with the ideas, you take the royalties from the sale, and you don't have to buy any inventory. So it's really cool. What is so great about this is that really you're just selling your ideas. So let's talk a little bit about PrintFul. One of the things that is a problem, and I know Art was talking about this in one of the groups earlier, and I totally agree with him, is that PrintFul is kind of expensive. Like the prices are not cheap. So you do have to kind of make your shirts and your phone cases premium to sell those on Amazon to actually make a profit on them. So that's kind of one of the drawbacks of PrintFul I see. The other drawback I see on PrintFul is that they are saying you have to be brand registered with Amazon. And the reason for that is because they don't want you using UPCs. They link it all by their own SKUs. So what that means, when you're brand registered, you don't need UPCs anymore for your brand. You just list your products, set them as your brand, and you don't need UPCs. So PrintFul are actually using that system. So you need to be brand registered, which is kind of a big hoop to jump through. To be brand registered, you need good photos of your product, and you need a website for your brand. So you do need an established brand with PrintFul. I mean, it's not insurmountable, but it is a bit of a hoop to jump through. So I think it's a really cool opportunity, and I think it's really exciting because it's indicating a couple of things. It's indicating the direction that the industry is going in, which is a lot of print-on-demand services are looking to integrate with Amazon. Gearbubble also have been trying to do the same thing. I won't be surprised if Redbubble, Zazzle, they start looking in that direction. They have their own storefronts as well. People can buy directly from Zazzle or Redbubble. But I think linking with Amazon is super exciting. As Marilyn said, also they link with Gumroad, which is really cool. It means, and Shopify, it means that you can create your own website for your brands and just drop ship from Scalable, from PrintFul, from all of these cool print-on-demand services. And you can sell them on Facebook, you can run ads on Facebook for them. Like, there's so much opportunity there. So I really think print-on-demand is becoming a big, big thing for this year. Now, the other thing I think that's really interesting, seeing PrintFul's integration with Amazon, it shows that Amazon are open to print-on-demand services. It shows that Amazon are open to print-on-demand integration. And this is something I've been noticing with Amazon for a while. They're really pushing people towards brand registry, towards having their own brands on Amazon. And I think this is really exciting for sellers like us, because I think the first few years I was doing FBA and doing Amazon Marketplace, I felt kind of tied to other people's brands and other people's products. When I realized that I didn't have to go out looking for products that met my criteria, when I realized that I could actually make products for particular audiences, for particular people, or to meet particular keywords, that was when I kind of had this huge epiphany and realized there were all these different ways you can sell on Amazon, and that it's really powerful, that you have a lot more power when you are creating listings, when you're creating products for specific demands. It means that you can meet holidays, you can tailor your products for particular holidays. If you find out there's a particular trend happening, like everyone's suddenly going gluten-free or paleo or sugar-free, you can meet those demands. If everyone's suddenly interested in a particular, I don't know, a particular hobby like bottle flippings, suddenly you can make a bottle flipping kit, you can make a bottle flipping t-shirt, you can do all of these cool things. If you find a Facebook group that has 100,000 people but no one's really talking about it outside that group, you can make products for that group. There is so much scope once you start creating products. And what's cool is that print on demand makes it really easy to create those products. So there's a lot of other options out there. PrintFul, as I say, PrintFul have just announced their integration, but they're expensive. There are some other options. Scalable Press is a really good one. Scalable Press, their website isn't the prettiest website in the world, and the process seems a little bit wonky when you try it. But there is big profit in Scalable Press because their prices are really low. Now, Jeff was talking to me earlier about it, and he mentioned that some people have had issues with Scalable Press's customer service and they've found it slow. I haven't experienced that. I've ordered from it. I've been really happy with it, but I haven't tried their customer service. So I'm just kind of sharing that in the interests of information. I wanted to put that out there. I know Marilyn, she's doing Shopify, which is amazing. Marilyn, what are you using with Shopify? Are you using PrintFul to print your products from Shopify? So she has her own website on Shopify, and is, oh yeah, she's been using PrintFul, Scalable. That's, wow. Marilyn, you are a rock star. And she's coming up with some awesome coloring books. So that's really exciting to see. So I put out a course 3 days ago. I guess I was kind of psychic because I didn't know about this PrintFul announcement. And I put out a course 3 days ago called On Demand, and it's a really short course. All it does, it's an introduction to print on demand and how to link print on demand with Amazon. And it's really exciting once you get going with it, because you realize you can take a print on demand platform, you can create your products on there, you can list them on Amazon very quickly, and people can order from you on Amazon, and you can drop ship straight to the customer from the print on demand. So I put together a course we called On Demand. It's literally half an hour. I think it's 35 minutes, and it takes you through the whole process. And not only that, I use Amazon Custom to add personalization to the products. So I know you saw it in the trailer. Oops. In the trailer for the on-demand course, I put together this apron right here. Stand back, Katharyne has been creative. And I wanted to make it super simple so that just you can see how easy this is. You don't have to be a graphic designer. You don't have to have mad Photoshop skills. You can literally do something like this. But actually, you can put full color photos. I know someone asked me this morning. I could actually put my photo there. I could have my picture on there. I could put any cool design. I think you get a 9 by 9 inch square that you can fill in with anything you like. And you can sell these aprons on Amazon. Like, how cool is that? You can have them shipping by Prime, oh, actually not Prime, but you can have them selling on Amazon. You can get your orders in, and you never have to actually touch them, which is really cool. But there's also a ton of other products you can do as well. And what I did with this, you can see it's got my name on, and as you can imagine, there's probably not that many people who want to buy an apron that says "Stand back, Katharyne is being creative." But I used Amazon Custom so that customers can put whatever name they want in there. So it can say Mom or Dad or Bill or Bob or whatever they want to put, or Fido. My dog's barking a lot. You can put any name you like on there, or you can put a photo, so customers can put their own photos on your apron, which is really, really exciting. So I used Amazon Custom for that. So On Demand covers the whole process. How you create your product on Print on Demand, how you list it on Amazon, and how you add in customization features with Amazon Custom. And I want to say, if you are not currently on Amazon Custom, apply now, because they are auto approving, which is really, really exciting. So you can get going on Amazon Custom now if you go and try it. I think all they ask for is a website, but here's a tip. In the website, you can actually link back to your product either on Redbubble or whatever print-on-demand site you want to use, or you can actually link to, I was laughing, hi Jennifer, what's up, good people, or you can actually just link back to one of your Amazon listings. So you don't have to have a proper website to apply for Amazon Custom. You can link back to your Amazon listing, or you can link to a product on another print-on-demand site. So there are a couple of issues with print on demand. I do go over them in On Demand. One of the key things is if you are drop shipping to Amazon customers, you need to have your product not in branded packaging. So this is why drop shipping has a bad name, because people sell things from Walmart or Target and customers get it in Walmart or Target packaging. You don't want to do that. So in On Demand, I explain how you can avoid that and how you can make sure customers get a package they are happy with. And so they get things like cool branded packing slips with your name on, and it all meets Amazon policy. So that's really, really important. I don't want you to just jump in and start drop shipping from Print on Demand and then get into trouble because it arrives in branded packaging. Very important. But yeah, let me have a look. Oh, Carolyn says website was optional on the application for Amazon Custom. She left it blank and got in. So go apply for Amazon Custom now. If you're not in there, go apply, because who knows how long auto approve will last. But right now it is on auto approve, which is super exciting. Jeff, you did hear your name. Why did I talk about you? Oh, because you made a really good point about Scalable. You said that you tried Scalable and you'd seen people weren't so happy with the customer service. That was why I talked about you. Cool. So has anyone got any questions? I would love to answer your questions about the new on-demand mini course, the Curate mega course, or anything about PrintFul, print on demand, merch, CreateSpace, any of those cool things. I know I've taught really, really fast for like 25 minutes, and you guys are still here, which is awesome. Ramona's saying, will I be able to access this later? Yeah, I think so. I don't think I picked my nose or anything, so I'll leave it up. Yeah, that's kind of, I think with Facebook, I usually leave videos archived, so it should be there. Denise says, how do you know if you get approved to merch? I think some people have had emails. The other way is just to try it. Just go to merch.amazon.com and see if you can log in. Jamie says, does Curate teach how to use Canva for merch? I still don't know what all we can do with it. You know, I have a YouTube video. I wonder if someone might be kind enough to post the link. But I actually have a YouTube video where I design 2 t-shirts for merch with Canva. Now, that said, as you asked about Curate, I go into way, way more detail with Curate. So let me talk about Curate a little bit. Sorry guys, sorry for the pitch. Curate is the course we brought out in December, and we keep updating it. So it's awesome. It's 15 hours, because the way we did it, I released one video every day of December, and each video was about 40 minutes, so I made a class every day of December, and they're on topics like public domain, merch, CreateSpace, Gumroad. We talk about other platforms like Teachers Pay Teachers. We talk about how to use government information. We talk about true crime. We talk, like, everything is in there. We talk digital collages, using postcards, ephemera, vintage products, and how to turn them all into digital products that make money. We also cover marketing, like Facebook marketing, and we cover design. I talk about InDesign and using InDesign with books. Isaac talks about Photoshop, and we do how to make products with Canva, journals, activity books, puzzle books, all of those kind of things. We talk about how to make those using Canva, and if you want to get deeper into design, we give you the options for going deeper with things like Adobe tools. So it's a really big course. It covers a whole bunch of things, but we do go really deep into Canva. And what's cool with Curate is we keep updating it. So since we launched it, we added in my coloring book mastermind, which has been amazing. I'm so proud of the coloring book mastermind. So many people created coloring books and launched them, including Sasha O'Hara, who became a mega star. She took my coloring book course. We added that into she got in the top 10 books on Amazon. She had the #1 adult coloring book. She beat Doctor Who, she beat Joanna Basford, like amazing. So we put in the coloring book course into Curate. I interviewed Sasha, and she gave me a 45-minute interview about how she markets her books, what her secrets are for marketing her books, and it was pretty amazing. She taught me quite a few things. I was like, whoa, I'm going to try that. So that was pretty cool. We put that into Curate. We've had one spring class. We're doing another spring class next week. The last spring class was really interesting. We talked about 3D printing, was one of the things we talked about, and how you can actually drop ship 3D printed products like jewelry. You can make engagement rings or necklaces or game pieces or parts or awards or like all kinds of cool things, ornaments. You can 3D print all kinds of things and drop ship those. So that was what we talked about in our first spring class. Our second spring class is next week, and it's going to be about Easter and Mother's Day. So that's coming up. So we keep adding to Curate. We keep putting in more and more information in that. So it's a really cool course, and I am so proud. I think I'm more proud of Curate than anything else I've done. Like I love the bundle course. I love Curate, but Curate is. I think Curate has the most potential. Like, I'm so excited to see what people are doing with Curate. And I saw a lot of people joined in February, and by the end of February they were like, oh, I made back the money that I invested in the course, and I'm making I've got products listed that are going to keep making me money for the rest of the year. In fact, they're going to keep making money hopefully forever. So I'm really excited by Curate. I'm really proud of the people in that course. I'm really proud of all the amazing things they've been doing. I'm seeing people making jewelry, making necklaces, making shirts, making clothes, all kinds of things. And never touching product, which is awesome. So everyone has nice, clean houses. I wish I had a nice, clean house. I'm getting there, though, and this is definitely sort of the direction for it. Carolyn says, where's the interview? It should be there. If you log into Curate, and I think if you scroll down under the main classes, you should be able to see Katharyne Lowe's interview and also have access to the colouring course. And the first spring class is archived there as well. So, yay! Oh, and you used your new bookmarks. That's so cool. That's awesome. Carolyn found the YouTube video in the bookmarks. Yeah, guys, if you want treasure hunting bookmarks, ask me. We can get those for you. We have a bookmark file that you can download that has all of the main treasure hunting and blue sky links. Rick has a really good question. He asks, what about returns when using custom on Amazon with a print-on-demand company? So here's the problem. It's kind of a bummer because with Amazon, you have to accept returns. Like, you know, Amazon have the really, really strict customer service policy, so you do have to accept returns from your customer. Now, whether you can return those yourself, once you've accepted the return from the customer, then it's up to you to see if you can return them to the print-on-demand company. And whether or not you can do that depends. So most of the platforms offer a return if there was something wrong with the product. So if the print is wonky or the print doesn't look right, then you can probably return it. If it's the customer's fault or your fault, then you have to eat it. But my suggestion is that what I normally find on Amazon is that you usually have about a 2% return rate. If your return rate goes over 2%, it usually means there's a problem with how you're describing your products, a problem with the photographs you're using of the products, or a problem with your products. It means that your products aren't as high quality as customers expect. So usually if your return rate goes over 2%, it usually means that you are not, that you're kind of misleading customers, you're building up their expectations too much. So what I tend to do is just accept that I'm going to make a 2% loss, like 2% of my sales I'm going to have to refund. And so once you kind of have that mindset, it doesn't feel so bad. It's like, okay, I just have to accept those returns, but I'm going to factor it into my profit. I'm going to factor it into how I price my products, that about 2% of them are going to come back to me. So that's really how I deal with returns. But the good news is, I mean, if there is a problem with, like, say, if this printed backwards or upside down, or they spelt my name wrong or something like that, then I could get it returned to the print-on-demand platform. But if it's my own fault or the customer changes their mind, sorry, you've kind of got to go with Amazon's policies and just accept it yourself and say, okay, never mind. Let me move on. Cool. Okay, I think I've covered. Have I answered all the questions? So we've gone over half an hour. Oh my gosh, you guys are still with me. That's awesome. Is there anything else I can answer? We've talked a lot. We talked about CreateSpace. We talked about merch. We've talked about Gumroad. We talked about general print-on-demand platforms. Is there anything else you guys would like to ask before I... Hi, Jordan. I mentioned you, though. I was talking about your awesome Trappist notebooks. So there's Jordan there, who is... Jordan, you are just like a rock star of products. You've put out journals, you've put out colouring books. I'm sure many of you remember his Night of the Living Dead colouring book, the Manos, the Hands of Manos. What's it called? Manos, Hands of Fate, that colouring book. Evil Dolls, Krampus. You've done Moscow Mule Mugs. I don't know. You're like a rock star, Jordan. Lots of products. I like seeing all the Curate rock stars here. Everyone who's like coming up with lots of products. Oh, Manos, the Hands of Fate. That's it. I've got it on my shelf there. It's an awesome book. Cool. All right, guys. I think I've already talked a lot. So what I want to shout out, we've just released On Demand. It's at ondemand.blueskysweet.com. ondemand.blueskysweet.com. It's awesome. It's awesome, and it's super cheap. It's $25. It's $24.99. So I made this super cheap because it's a short course. It's 35 minutes, and it's literally the same length as I've been talking now, but I talk in a much more constructive manner and guide you through the process. It also comes with a 28-page book, and it's like a legit ebook that has like real writing in it. Like, it's not like, oh, here's my 28-page book, and then it's all just like, write some notes here. No, this is like an actual guide to the print-on-demand process. So it's like a full course, and basically you can take it in under an hour. You watch the video, the book answers your questions, and you can have your products created on a print-on-demand service, linked to Amazon, and you can have them listed and be accepting orders tonight if you take that course, which is like the most exciting thing ever. You can literally have a whole bunch of inventory up on Amazon tonight. Like, that's amazing. Without spending any money, without having to go out shopping. Amazing. So we have done that. It's called ondemand.blueskysweet.com. Okay, Liliana says, What do you mean with be careful with public domain pictures for a drawing book? Okay, so what I'm saying here, I've noticed people putting out coloring books, putting out workbooks, and some of them are not using material that they own. People are going on Google and finding Google images, or they're using famous people, and they're making coloring books, things like that, that have pictures that they don't have the rights to. So all I'm saying here is that if you make any kind of book or any kind of t-shirt, be sure that you have the rights to all the material you use in that book, because otherwise you can get into trouble with Amazon, you can get into legal trouble, and it's not worth it. So don't just go on Google Images, take pictures and put them in your book. You have to be careful that you have that you're not using copyright material. So yeah, that was all I meant. And Jordan's saying, Liliana, you have to do your research. Yeah, I mean, like public domain, you can find so much out there that's in the public domain. You just have to do a little bit of research to check whether or not things actually are in the public domain. Jordan says, haha, still dabbling in lots of things. I know, I can't keep up with you, Jordan. You and Marilyn, I can't keep up with. You guys just are publishing so much. I'm trying to pick things and share them and post them, and you guys literally overwhelm me with stuff. So that's the on-demand course. It's ondemand.blueskysuite.com. Take the course. It's really quick. It's cheap, and you can have your products listed on Amazon tonight, which is awesome. And if you want to get into Amazon Custom, it adds that on and shows you how to do personalization on your products, which is really cool. Oh, and the other thing with On Demand, it also includes a $50 discount off Curate. So if you take the On Demand course, you like it, and you want to go further and find more digital inventory products you can make, then you can go and take the Curate course, which is huge and which is amazing. Oh, Cheryl said she loved the live class. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, guys, you have been the best. I am so excited to have made, I don't know, just get in touch with you guys and talk to you. I feel like I've been a little bit quiet lately. I don't really have a show, so it's really nice to do a Facebook Live and connect with you all, because I miss you guys. It's nice to talk to you. So if you have any more questions, if you're taking On Demand, or and you're having, Jordan says Curate course is totally worth it. We're all friends and you'll love it. Leslie says, so enjoying the on-demand course. Thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you. I really, really appreciate the support. Isaac and I put a lot of love into it. We've been putting a lot of work into these courses, and we're so excited. What I'm really excited about is when I see people taking action and doing it and running with what they learn. And my whole goal with on-demand was to make it as simple and short and straightforward as possible. So it's a short course, but it took me weeks to come up with, okay, this is how you can do this very easily without having to mess around with brand registry, without having to sort of jump through a lot of hoops. This is the most straightforward, policy-abiding, safe way of getting your print-on-demand products listed straight onto Amazon. So that was why we made it. So hopefully you guys can check it out. You might enjoy it. Hopefully you will enjoy it. We're getting really good reviews on it. And then once you have taken a look at On Demand, maybe take a look at Curate, because Curate is just a world of ideas. So have a great day, guys. I really appreciate you joining me on this Thursday lunchtime. I will check in with you again soon. I'm gonna do this again soon, because this has been awesome. I really like talking to you. So have a great afternoon, guys. I love you all. Bye.